Nutrient sale starts April 12th, 10th to 12th. Mark Barton, second of our stops here for getting around the Victorian studs and here at Aldebaran Park.
Yeah, mate, it's good to see a little bit of green on the ground again too.
And we've got the newly crowned Gordon Rothicker medalist, Mr. Duncan McPherson. Hi, Duncan.
G'day, Paul. How are you?
Very well. We'll touch on that. You and I might do another interview on that later on, but congratulations for that.
Thanks very much. Yeah,
very emotional scenes as well, I saw afterwards. So, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise, and it's nice to have some surprises left in life, and that was a very humbling and a very honoured experience.
Yearling sales coming around very, very quickly. You look forward to it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what this farm's all about, trying to produce the internationalisation, globalisation of the sport, genetics that are sought after on a big way from not only in Australia but they're watched globally, and we've always tried to promote ourselves as an international destination. Even to yesterday, we had the head of British racing, Mr. Brant Dunchet, and three of the vets, two from Norway and one from Svenska Travsport. So they saw fit during the veterinarian conference to come out to Aldebaran Park and have a look at international horses.
Yep, which is what we want to do.
That's what it's about.
We've got a tactical landing and a walnut. We will touch on those. You've got a very exciting draft, Duncan, in this sale. But the trotters, we've spoken at length about the depth in the Sydney sale from the pacing point of view. But this Melbourne sale, the quality of horses across the board is just amazing. And the presentation and the turnout of the trotters predominantly, there are paces, and there's paces in your draft, but just an amazing depth in the trotting ranks.
Oh, I think if you're whether you're in New Zealand or whether you're from Europe, and John Bootsman, Boko Farms, has been here and had a look, and a lot of trainers in Victoria and around Australia have been here. If you're going to buy a trotter, you're coming to Nutrien Melbourne, Mardo. So I think it's really important, and the presentation of our stock. I mean, credit to Mel and Danny, and to Jason, the team. They do a wonderful job here at Aldebaran Park, and hopefully on the day they get the reward for all their effort. They've bred them, they've reared them. They've impregnated the mothers, and it's a 3-year journey, 2.5-year journey for our team. So, they've got a vested interest in an outcome, and we're looking forward to the day.
We were saying there earlier, 17 horses, all born and raised here on the farm. 2 of those are Danny and Mel's, and a couple of outside horses for clients that are reared here. But that's an important part of it, that process, right up until these horses are sold, they get the same process right through.
Yeah, I mean, Ashley Haynes has always had a couple of mares here. David Scott, who's had great success with his progeny recently, and we don't bring them unless they're in the gate and they're impregnated here. They don't come from outside. We're pretty keen on that. We look after our client base, and Mel and Danny got a couple of paces in there, and good luck to them, and hopefully they go as well. But there's 13 Aldebaran Park branded up trotters ready to go, and we're probably highlighting 4 of those lots for you here this afternoon.
Yep. Let's start with the tactical landing. Aldebaran Mike, I believe, is his name. Beautiful horse, strong, stands up. I got to see the photos. Stuart McCormick's just finished doing the photos, and just a lovely type of horse, isn't he? With the pedigree of Page as well.
Yeah, there's only 2 dams on his page, and his half-sister sold for 82.5 last year, and he's a typical tactical landing colt, big, bold. He's got a presence, he's calm. Yep. He's well behaved, and he should do the job as far as tactical landing is concerned at your sale, Mark.
Yeah, look, and go to the other one now. Obviously, your walnut. That's the special weekend to see those horses out being showcased, and like you say, the international interest in those horses.
Oh, it's just very exciting. I mean, the Tobby, he's Aldebaran Tobby. He's named after Torben Janssen, who came down here and won the World Driving Championship back in the early 2000s at Moonee Valley, and brought Ridgehead Cahor down here to race in the Great Southern Star for Thierry Melnas. So, and I've known Torben very well. He's in the Swedish Hall of Fame, and it was only just that we have a Swedish mare, Aldebaran Teal, who he actually raced and looked after for us up in Sweden. And, to give him credit and for what he's put into Aldebaran Park, Sweden, it was just great to be able to have a walnut colt. And, she's out of Aldebaran Teal, who's in turn out of Jean Fee. And it's a very strong pedigree in Sweden, out of the Manhammer Stateri stud farm. And, we raced Aldebaran Teal, and she's doing an extremely good job down here so far. And, to have a walnut colt with Swedish heritage, it's just an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, unique, great opportunity for us as agents, but like you say, you see these horses born and raised. It's the culmination of 2.5, 3 years of work.
Yeah, and it's more than that, because when you go to Sweden and you buy the foal up in Sweden out of a paddock, it's probably a 10-year journey to get to where he is. But no, we're very excited, and he's he's just definitely a typical Walner, and we're very happy with him. And whilst there's not many in the Southern Hemisphere, if you're coming to buy, then you've really got to look at the top end. And, you know, when they're averaging 250, 300,000 on day one at the sales in the US, we don't have to be a rocket scientist to work out that there's a fair level of expectation and excitement about the Walner presentations, both from Yabby Dam Farms and Aldebaran Park.
We'll let the guys take these two away. They've been beautifully well behaved, except for the odd flies giving them a hard time. But other than that, they've been too beautifully well behaved. And we'll highlight another couple of those guys. So we'll let these guys go and we'll be back in a sec.
Absolutely.
Right, boys, we are back. We've had a swap, pretty exciting draft we've got here. And we want to touch on a couple of the other parts in a minute. But lot 198, Duncan, is the Aldebaran Raptor. This is the Walner Aldebaran Ravani, a horse that I've actually seen basically from the start. He's had, you know, there's plenty happening in his life, and beautiful horse. Absolutely stunning horse.
Yeah, you came up here early days and saw him as a foal, and obviously Ravani's passed away. Unfortunately, we've got him, and we've got a Dancing in the Dark filly, and then we lost her. You know, and Mel and Danny did a great job just to get the two foals. But this fella's been special from day one, and you've got video of when he was a couple of days old, and he is just a stunning animal and fully American bred out of a mother that's left winners all over the US. And we brought Aldebaran Ravani down here. She went 52-7 at Menangle, and was just a super speed horse. And unfortunately, she got crook on the racetrack, and we did everything we could to keep her in foal. And obviously, being a Walner, I mean, Walner, a fully American bred son of Walner in the Southern Hemisphere, there's no others. He's the only one. So he's a unique opportunity for an investor.
He's an outstanding type too. Like we're saying, it's one thing to have a wonderful page and the story that goes with the horse, but when the horse comes out and you look at the strength through that top of him, how well balanced he is, and he looks like a sire, doesn't he?
Well, that's the object of the exercise. I mean, we bred him to Walner to hopefully get a stallion at Aldebaran Park, and our intention is he's on the market, Mark. I've discussed this with you, and if the right buyers are there and there's enough interest in him, we'd be more than interested in retaining a share in him on sale day. We can't replace him for under $350,000 US if we went up there to buy one. John Bootsman been here a couple of years ago, and he offered us $200,000 US, and we said no. Now, whether we're right, wrong, or indifferent, but we know our market, and he's got the pedigree page now. He's got to do is do it on the racetrack.
Yeah, no, and you, like I say, he's a likely prospect. Looking at him, he's got a look at me attitude. The good ones do, don't they?
Yeah, and he's got the great eye that goes with it, and the great head that it's, you know, he's just alert and he's doing what he needs to do.
And again, born and raised here, so Australian bred, so he's ready to operate here, yeah.
Ready to go. And obviously New Zealand size stake eligible too. So
the one we'll say too, he's just left us now because he's got a filly next to us, so he's come back. He's come back to say hello. Mel and him are making an appearance, and they're making sure that everyone knows they're here. That is for sure. But he is a lovely colt, and you will retain a share if the person wants to, and that option is also to stand him at stud. That's where you're backing your money with your mouth with a horse like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's part of that whole.
Well, I mean, the future of Aldebaran Park is produce international genetics, and he's internationally. He fits that bill all the way around, and we're in it for the long haul. So let's just see how we go on sale day.
The reason he is a little bit excited, he's got a real looker next to him. This is Aldebaran Chanel. This is 266. This is Aldebaran Bardo. Bardo, I'll start with you because it's been named after you, not quite, but beautiful filly on type. Don't worry about the bloodlines, just on type herself.
Yeah, well, I was going to say again, you've got a beautiful forearm, you've got a wonderful back end, you've got balance there, and I reckon you've got a racehorse. We're saying you want strength, but you also want a horse to look like a filly. She's feminine, but she's powerful. No, love her. She's got that length to you. You find it very hard again to pull her apart when you've got a page and a story there. You know, Calgary Games. You could potentially put yourself 5-10 years in front of the game on broodmare potential alone.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've had Calgary Games semen down here this year, so she's 2.5 years ahead.
Yep.
And, you know, no wonder he gets excited. I get excited when I see a good Swedish filly too. So I don't blame the boy. He's only human. But no, I mean, we're not being smart. I mean, her mother, we bought her, you know, her name's Aldebaran Bardo.
Yep.
Chanel or Bardo?
This one's Chanel. She's
out of Bardo.
Yep.
So Chanel because she's expensive.
Yep.
Bardo we bred down in France at down at Harras de Corneville with Eric and Luce Drac. We sent the mare down there to get the mother. Then we've packaged them up and brought her down in foal on the basis that we never thought we'd get a Calgary Games, let alone a fully Swedish-bred Calgary Games in the Southern Hemisphere. And because we were able to get the Calgary Games semen down here from Manhammer, and we thank them profusely, we decided that we'd offer her genetically and as a potential broodmare acquisition for someone, a very shrewd investor, to get ahead of the game down here.
Yep. Great way for us as a sale company to put our brand out there I guess the thanks of people like yourselves that have put these sort of horses in the Australian market. But there's international interest, but the Australian market here alone, like there's this massive opportunity, long term with these sort of fillies. They just don't come up every day.
Well, you've got an all-American bred colt and an all-American, an all-Swedish bred filly.
Yep.
Now, I don't think that's ever been in a sale in the Southern Hemisphere ever since I've been doing horses down here. So it is a unique opportunity, and on sale day they've come up really well. Their photos, their videos are getting done here next week, and we just encourage everyone, if you don't buy them, come and have a look at them, because you will not see these again potentially for sale or on offering in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's a unique opportunity, and it's great to be part of the nutrient sale market.
Yeah, no, look, it's a privilege to stand over every horse. You get these special ones, like we say. It's one of those bucket lists to be able to have those sort of genetics on offer in a sale. So thank you.
Yeah, no, and thanks to Mel and Danny as they leave us, and the team at Aldebaran Park have done a great job, and we're looking forward to sales day, and hopefully Mel and Danny and the team are rewarded for the 2.5 years that they've looked after these horses for. So fingers crossed, and we're hot to trot at Aldebaran Park.
Before you go, you don't get to go. Hang on, Shawnee, you stay there for a sec. We've still got a little bit to go. We want to make sure first lot to go through is actually one of yours. This is Aldebaran Major, so the sale starts, Bodo. I haven't looked at that.
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. on Sunday.
Lot number 1, which is lot number 181, is the first horse to go through. That is the King of the North out of Naked Majesty for clients of yours, I believe. Or is that one of yours?
That's one of ours.
One of yours.
The beauty about that is Naked Majesty left a winner at Shepparton last night in Aldebaran Marcus, who bolted in. So couldn't have happened at a better time.
Timing's everything, isn't it?
And it's very important that people do get there for those first lots. We've actually now I've seen all the first 3 horses to go through already, so don't be late. I can tell that.
I think the lunchtime, midday on Saturday, come and have a look at the parade. It gives you a good chance to see the dress rehearsal of all the sale horses, pacers and trotters.
Absolutely.
You'll see these international pedigrees, and you'll be able to see them in comparison to what's on offer from the other stables. But again, it's an exciting weekend for us. It culminates what's been a pretty good sale season so far.
Oh, look, we just can't wait to get there, and we're very excited, and we're excited for the wholesale mark. I mean, whether it's pacers or trotters, and the interest that's coming from the other side of the Tasman. I know people that are coming here just to look at the horses. Ken Spicer from Rosedale Farm hasn't been to a sale here for 15 years. He's coming over. He just wants to have a look at the quality of the horses and get an appreciation of what that the studs are producing here that are globally competitive and globally genetic, and I think it's going to be outstanding.
Just on those trotters, like the first 3 lots, 3 of the first 6, you've got the King of the North Naked Majesty, you've got the Naughty 3, which was Huey Caffell's horse, which another King of the North, and then the 5th one to go through was an Elite Stride out of Nightingale Stride. So the depth in the trotting ranks in this sale alone is exquisite, and it's something that I think people need to come here. And as you say, the Kiwis, I know there's quite a few Kiwis coming across. Bardo was talking to a couple today as well. There's quite a few people coming across. Just, I think, maybe to buy, but I think more or less to look at them, because it's it's amazing.
It's good to showcase the Australian product, like we said. We've seen some of these horses travel across the Tasman, and we've held our own. Well, they've done exceptionally well. I know we're going to have a race in Wagga, and you're going to go back to Europe and see what's going on over there with the Elite Lop. And I think they're not big distances when people want to travel to come and see great horses.
No, and the messaging's there. I mean, as I said earlier in the interview to both of you, we had international guests here yesterday from Norway and from Sweden. And with Brandt, who's the CEO of British Racing, I mean, they don't have to come here. And the irony is, not an irony, the reality is they do want to come here. And they did want to see the Calgary Games, and they did want to see the Walner out of the Swedish mare. Yep. And that's what they came here to look at. And they've gone away knowing and acknowledging and noting that the quality of the horses that they've seen here are as good as what they're going to see at a yearling sale up in Sweden. And I think that's a great fillip for what we're producing here, but also for our sales team, and for Mel and Danny to get that accolade yesterday is just an outstanding pat on the back for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Important for people to come here and inspect these horses. They race at Shepparton every Tuesday, so you've got 2 more Tuesdays. You can make the excuse to come up here early if you're an owner. We've got the Easter holidays coming up as well, so plenty of reason for people to come here. I'm sure Mel and Danny would like a holiday. I think Mel really wants one today, but that's not happening. They'll be here getting these horses ready, so contact the farm.
Yeah, the details, the contacts are on the sales pages or on our website. Our website features the nutrient sale. It's already up there, all the descriptions of all the horses. Whether they're athletic, whether they're bold, whether their temperaments are there. Peter Wharton's written all the voiceovers for the videos that we do next week.
Yep.
All those descriptions are on the website as we speak, as are the pedigree pages, which is we talked about earlier, being updated progressively by Nutrient. So the up-to-date pedigrees and the descriptions are there. Photos were done today. They'll be there by the end of the weekend, and videos by mid to late next week. And if you want to come up and have a look, Mel and Danny have been more than accommodating already, and we're here to assist and make your sale and your job easier on sales day, when everybody's had the viewing opportunities prior to getting there.
Yep.
No. Barto, what's the website?
Yeah, nutrientstandardbred.com.au. We've learnt that one over the last 12 months. We have updated our website, which
I've got to have fun. I've got to have fun every now and then. He might have slipped the other day.
Probably important to put that up there, that's there, but also the horse is eligible for the race series, both 2 and 3-year-old trotters and pacers. They'll be all updated. We've actually finished trying to name all of those last night, the ones that have been named that hadn't been. So it's exciting what we've got, bearing in mind these 2-year-olds or these yearlings we're selling will race at Wagga as 2-year-olds next year.
Yeah.
So it's going to bring the trotting gate to Wagga to the Riverina Paceway, which I think that's exciting too.
Well, I think we've acknowledged that with the success of Birchip and regional racing in Victoria and New South Wales and South Australia, with the Trotters Cups at Strathalbyn and everything last weekend, I think we've got to acknowledge that we need to make sure that we're taking our product to the core base and the heart of the heartlands, and Wagga fits right in there, and they've done a great job there, and I just commend Nutrient for the job they've done, and to put a race series on in a regional town that's produced a bucket load of fantastic Sydney Swans AFL representatives. And we'll talk about Paul Kelly earlier, but we won't go too far on that one. But no, it's a great opportunity for everybody, and yes, if you're not there, if you don't go, you can't buy, and if you want to bid online, you can do that too. And we just hope everybody enjoys the day and enjoys seeing world-class animals and world-class offerings on the day.
No, it's exciting stuff. Boys, thank you.
Good on
Try
you,
to keep these short, but this one's a long one. There's even a couple of little slips there from me, but that's okay.
No, we'll sort that out.
Won't be your last one, Paulie.
No, it won't be. Won't be at all. But please get here to Aldebaran Park, give Mel and Danny a call, or give Barto a call, I'm in all sorts of trouble. Christy, nearly forgot the boss's name, but they'll look after you as well. Anyone that's watching this from overseas, especially New Zealand, give Barto and them a call as well, and they'll be able to hook you up.
Yep.
Where to go when you get here, but also
even if someone is travelling from offshore and they need some help, we can make sure we make that trip, and the transfers and things like that, we can look after them.
But they can contact you if they want to come here too, Mark, or Christy, or anyone in your team, and a phone call from you to tell us that someone wants to come here.
Absolutely.
It's not a problem. So if you want to go through Mark and remain a little bit of anonymity, if you like, well then we're pretty discreet, but we're more than here. We're here to help you, and as we say, we're hot to trot at Aldebaran Park.
Shawnee, come in.
Ready?
Yep.
Hot got shot!
Well done, mate. Thank you.
Good on you.